mine, aka Dizzy Dee. He's a local rapper here in Winnipeg. And just want to start off before we get into our interview today. Just give you a quick intro about myself. I'm Darnell. It's my idea for the project StarSeeker. It's my idea, so just to give you guys like a face for everything that you've been seeing. So let's get into it. So let's start out by letting the audience here get to know you a little better. You're from Winnipeg, but you weren't born here. That's correct?
Yeah, I moved here when I was 6.5. I was originally born from Ghana, Africa, and when I was a little kid, I got flown out here. And I've been here ever since. I think it's like a long while. It's too cold up here. I wish I'd go back, but you know, it is what it is, man.
How young were you when you moved here?
I moved here when I was super young, like when I was 6.5, 2004. I moved here. And like, yeah, it's been a really big adventure and crazy adventure. It's like a crazy opportunity for me, especially being born in the first 5 years, born and raised in Africa, and to have the opportunity to come to Canada and like better opportunities and just to better my life, right? So.
Mm-hmm. For sure, man. When you so have you taken anything like from Ghana and kind of try to incorporate your like heritage or culture in any way to type your music, or have you just kind of like assimilated in a way to like the Canadian culture?
I always use it as motivation because I feel like there's not very many kids that get the opportunity to be taken out of the environment they're in into a better situation for them to thrive. So that's always like the fire.
Yeah.
Behind me. But like I was so young when I moved here that like I'm pretty Canadian as it gets by this point now.
For sure, yeah. Like we all are. So how long have you been rapping for? Has it always been something you've been interested in, or did you kind of discover your passion for it later on in life?
In like grade 8, I really got into like music. Like I became more aware of music in general because like I watched 8 Mile with Eminem and like the whole rap battle scenes just like gave me like goosebumps that like no other movie and nothing else ever did compared to, and I always wanted like to have the feelings of performing on stage, and that's where it really started. I used to write out all of Eminem's songs on like my mom's walls, like down in the basement, and she'd get so mad at me because there'd be like a whole album just written in pen and marker all over her walls. That's and all like wallpaper and everything. But like that's where it really started, and ever since then, I've been just keeping at her.
For sure, that's dope. That's a dope story, bro. So you just dropped a new single, "Ready to Engage." Everyone, go bump it right now.
It's fire.
You can find it on SoundCloud or visit the StarSeeker website. I'll be putting up a thing later, so you guys can all see how to download it and check it out. It's really super good. But we'll get back to that in a bit. First, I want to talk to you about your first single, "Whoa," which you dropped around 2 years ago.
Yeah, I dropped. So I was in collaboration. I had a new job, and then I met at the job. I actually found one of my homies there, and he was a producer at my work. And I was like, "What are the chances that like I get this job and there's a dope producer here?" So I started working with him, and to this day, this man says like one of the best beats. And he's like pure talent, so just for me to be able to work with him, it was just like such an honor, right?
What's his name?
His name's Dylan. So yeah, such an honor to work with him. And then what's it called? We just started that whole summer. We were trying to figure out like what we were going to do. We had like a set list of 10 songs that we were going to drop in September, but things happened and people went on vacation and work and just life in general. So we're like, okay, we have to at least have one song done. So we picked out "Whoa," and then because it had like the chill vibe that like sounded different from like what you were hearing already in the mainstream music. So I was like vibe with it. I wrote in like 10, 15 minutes. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning when we actually picked this song. I was like, man, I gotta get this done because we can't be up at like 5 a.m. doing this. So I wrote it super quick and then we recorded it on the spot. And then the next day we woke up and then we just mixed it. We dropped it a couple of days later, and like that was like my first introduction, my first full song that I from top to bottom that I finished. So
yeah. So it all kind of just happened, like
I feel like some of like your best work comes in like the shortest time frame because you're just feeling the music. You're not overthinking and trying to write things into where it is. Like it just comes out like.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Right?
Even with like writing, I know it's like the same kind of thing. Sometimes you just get the idea and it just flows.
Yeah, it just has to flow, right? Like sometimes we overthink what we're doing and just try to make it too perfect.
True.
Right? And then we lose the whole feeling and emotion behind the music.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's an old like adage that's like the perfect is the enemy of the good. Yeah. And I think that like applies really well to most situations. Now, staying on the topic of Whoa, initially, like we were saying, you experienced a great deal of success. However, after its release, we didn't hear from you for a while. And the hype kind of like faded a little. Looking back, do you wish you could have done anything different to better capitalize on your early success? Do you think you were prepared for it?
I wish I could have scheduled, like, had more ammo ready. So when I dropped Wool, like every month that I would have had songs ready to go. But that was also my first year going to university, so like music kind of stopped and put aside for school for like a while. So that's the reason why I kind of like went rogue and disappeared. And it's like, where's Dizzy? Like we have no idea, right? Like university had the brother by like life or death situations here.
I feel you, bro. I feel you.
So so I went really quiet for like 2-3 months, just focusing on school, and then wintertime I kicked back up, and then I dropped another song around there. But like I don't really wish. I just trying to learn from the past and apply it to the future.
Only thing you can do.
Yeah, I don't wish to go back because like. You learn the lessons for a reason, right? Because like all that stuff now pushes me now when I'm releasing music to have backup songs and have like 3 or 4 songs ahead of me, so I can stay consistent, right? So like when I drop a song, I always have like more ammo in the arsenal, so when it does pick back up, it won't drop off again.
Right.
Type thing, right? So.
Right. You mentioned to me off wax that you think Ready to Engage will be kind of almost like a turning point in your career. Can you elaborate on what you mean when you say that?
Ready to Engage, I feel like it's just like a put together song from start to finish, like the bars, the delivery, the flow. I feel like it's like my best performance to date, but my last song is always my best performance until I release the next one. So I'm never really satisfied with my music because I always feel like I can always improve on it. But till in this day I'm sitting on right now, this is the best song that I've released. If I drop a song tomorrow, then that's the best song I've ever released. So but I always try to keep that mindset and I always try to push forward. And before I even release any songs, like I sit on it for like 2 months and listen to it and like every word, delivery, flow, how I'm saying it, how I'm stretching my voice, like my punchlines, my like similes, my metaphors, everything. I have to make sure it's perfect for me before I put it out.
Right.
Because if I'm satisfied and the world don't like it, but I'm
then
satisfied,
it's okay.
that's all that matters.
Right.
Right. But if you're not satisfied with it and the world hates it on top of it, then you're like, well, I can't blame you because, right. So that's what it is, man.
Mm-hmm. So talking about that, like being so specific in each part of your song when you create it, to me you take a more technical approach than most artists. Like you're working every day to improve your craft instead of relying purely on inspiration. Do you see this as an advantage or a disadvantage to you?
I feel like it's actually both because like I'm so meticulous with like how I want it to sound. It kind of like stops me from putting music out because it doesn't sound perfect, right? So like I have so many songs that I've been just sitting on, but I can't like it doesn't sound how I want it to sound in my ear.
Yeah. So
I don't want to put it out, but then that like, what if that was the song that got me to the next level? Like, right? Like, my brother says sometimes you gotta be okay with being okay, right? Like, you can't be perfect all the time. You can't have 110% performance. If you're at 98, 97, people will give you that little bit of leeway if it's a good song, right? But I always expect that 100% and put a lot of pressure on being like perfect on it.
Right, and there's also like the aspect of like when you hear like a song, whether it be on the radio or like from your favorite artist, like whoever it be, there's so much like production that goes into it, so many people working on it. It's gonna be perfect in every single way because you have a whole team behind it.
Yeah.
When you don't have as big of a team, there's gonna be stuff that you can't do, but you gotta be okay just putting it out there.
Yeah, you gotta be
building
okay
to
with
that
just
level.
being okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I always compete with like songs on the radio and like artists who are like at the top of the game because I feel like when you do that, it raises your level of competition and raises you, right? So I want to sound like them. I want to almost imitate the work ethic and like the style and stuff, right? So that puts a lot of pressure on my music because like I won't release it if I don't think that like if tomorrow Eminem, Jay-Z, J. Cole or something heard it, like they would hear the mistake that you did and it could turn them off from signing you or not signing you, either way, right? So that's how I go about it when I make my music, right? Like if you were showing the song to like Dr. Dre or something like this, would your mistake be acceptable and passable to it, right? And that's where the nitpickiness comes in hand. Right.
So you mentioned like Dr. Dre, Eminem, Jay-Z, or J. Cole. Would you say those are your musical influences? Do you have any other ones?
My musical influences would be Tupac, Eminem, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Wayne. Those five would be the biggest like craft me into who I am now because I was trying to get like my deep meaning from my Pac and try to write with substances, but like my lyricism, I try to like imitate Eminem, and my metaphors try to be like Wayne, and my flow like Biggie, right? So I try to take pieces of all these artists and try to like write it into sort of my style.
Right.
And
just
add
pull a little bit from everything.
Yeah, right? Like, I just study it and then just apply it to what I'm doing, right? So, those would be my biggest, there's lots more obviously, but those would be the top five off my head that I say is the biggest influences today.
Peel back the curtain a bit for us. Take us through your creative process. What do you like most about it?
Oh, my creative process, I like to be like, I don't know, it's just like spontaneous. Like if I hear a beat and I can listen to it like an hour on edge without it getting boring to me, then I know that's the beat. Cause like
that's a long time.
Yeah, but like if you're going to record and mix, edit, all this stuff, you're gonna have to be able to hear that beat over and over and over again until it's like almost boring to you. Right, you have to, like, if the beat still has the same energy and excitement as, like, the first time you heard it on the 100th or 200th time, that's when you know. And then I usually, like, I just get to writing, like, it depends on how I'm feeling, how it is. Like, I might just freestyle the hook and then write on paper or write on my phone, or both of them gives you, like, different outputs and effects, like, how you write, where you write, like, who's around you. All these things matter when you're making music, right? Like, so I just try to be like very, very cautious about that and like who's around me, like what I'm doing, and yeah, I always gotta keep it light and fun. And like if you're listening to it, you have to have energy to it. Like if I'm the listener, what would I want to hear on this song, right? So I always try to put myself in other people's perspectives as well, and just
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at it. It's very very like different than most people approach it.
Yeah, of course.
It's fair to say like you place a lot of emphasis on your lyrics, be it through wordplay or the messages that like you convey. That's not necessarily in line with like the current wave of music, which is more about creating a vibe and basically just creating a sound that encapsulate a certain emotion. How do you see yourself fitting in with like the current wave?
I feel like the new wave right now is like party rap and like feel good rap, and that's awesome because you get like the bass and the kicks and the hard snares that punch through, and then, but I want to incorporate that with lyricism too, because like that then I feel like since the early '90s to now, our beats have gotten better, but our like talent for rap has like dropped.
I agree with that.
Like,
yeah.
A lot, just with like our flow or what we're saying or
Yeah.
delivery.
Like whenever I listen to a beat now, it's like, yo, this is like the hardest beat I ever heard, and it's like, but no one's saying anything on it.
Yeah, it's like the producers are now the stars of the show. Like the producers make the rappers' careers now, instead of the rappers making their careers. Like if I cut the beat off, like and just listen to your acapella, you should still sound fire.
Yeah.
You should still have bars. You should still be like, yo, I could bump this acapella, right? But if I cut the beat off and then it don't sound like nothing, that's the problem,
Yeah.
right?
Funny.
Right. So right now I feel like music changes so much, like so much, so frequently. So you can't completely invest yourself in trying to be what is now, right? Because what is now might not be what is now in 5 years. In 10 years' time, right? You have to have longevity. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to maneuver and still like take a piece of it, but still be you.
Right.
You know. So I feel like lyricism and flow are the two things that have always stood the test of time when it comes to music. Like the more things you can rap about, the more words you know, and the uniqueness of your voice is what's gonna.
That's a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, is what's gonna keep you where you at. Like that's what's gonna make you stand on the top of the hilltop for as long as like the so and so kings of the music industry. It's like they all have that.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Like what we're trying to do here with like Project StarSeeker. One of my main focuses is to like find what makes each person unique, and then you just want to like highlight that, and you want to just like show that in every way possible. For any type of art that you do, you just want to be showcasing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, we live in an age where pretty much everybody has the opportunity to try and make it as a musician. While this is great, it has led us to being oversaturated with content. What do you think separates you from everybody else? We talked about this already, but free to elaborate more.
What separates me from everybody else? I guess that's a good question. That's what I'm trying to find out right now. I'm trying to find myself and trying to find my voice and find what makes me stand out. Because there's always going to be people who's been in it longer than you, who can out-rap you lyrically. There's people who have better flows, have better beats. But you just have to find something that works for you and incorporate your listeners. I feel like consistency is the biggest thing. The more consistent I become and the more people hear the same voice and see the same face, then you become attached with that artist. Right? Not just on the music level, like, oh, what is he doing now? Like, half the time I tune into, like, Instagram Live or whatever, like, on whoever's story, just to see, like, what their everyday life is and what they're doing and, like, all that type, because you feel like you're connected with them.
Right.
Right? And then music is just, like, the vessel to it. Right? So I just have to find the way to have people connect with me. Right?
For sure. When fans listen to your music, I think that we all feel like the energy you exude. That's one of the main things that I think makes you stand out, in my opinion. In each syllable, like really, you can feel like your passion for it. Is this by design or more of like a reflection of who you are as a person?
I feel like it's a reflection because like I really be excited. Like I can record the same thing 75 times, and the 76th time I'll still be as excited as the first time, right? So like it just gives me that adrenaline rush when I'm recording, and that just carries through, like,
Right.
my music. And especially, like, I memorized a lot of my verses already, so it's just like I have it in my head, and like the energy comes out already, right? And I'm like, it carries it because I'm passionate about what I'm doing, right? And it just speaks through the music, I guess.
Yeah, it really is. Some people are fueled by the doubters or haters. Others are fueled by the praise and adoration of their fans and the people who they care about. Which type of person do you think you are, and has there been anyone or anything that sticks out to you that makes you say, yeah, this is why I do it?
I feel like, I don't know, being fueled by someone else is like, motivation by someone else is not like the thing that I rely on. You gotta find that fire from you, because the motivation from other people is either gonna die or get overwhelming. Like if you're being fueled up by the doubters, there could be too many doubters and feel like it starts to get to you that like you're not seeing the results as quick as you want, and things aren't happening as fast as you want it to be. And praise only works for so long, but it doesn't really push you to move forward. It just lets you know that you're good here, but it doesn't let you know that you can be better. Right? With me, I always want to be better than what I was yesterday, and hearing other people and knowing that other people are working harder than me and doing more, and someone's dropping an album today when I'm barely writing a verse, or somebody's dropping like songs or going on tours and starting tours, and somebody's doing, like, that's what gets me, because I'm motivated, because I want to be at that level. Like when say Eminem drops a new album and I sit and like listen through line by line what he's saying, and then I get upset because like, first off, I don't know the words he's rhyming here and how he's rhyming it. So, and I gotta get back in the studio, look up this word, the meaning, and just to understand what he's saying, right? I'm like nowhere near that level, and that's like that just lets me know that I gotta step my game up, right? Because if you want to tangle with the best, if you want to be the best, you have to like compete against the best.
Right? For sure. I think that was a really good response. That being said, though, obviously everyone kind of goes through, sometimes they'll go through some periods of self-doubt. That's not, I don't think that anyone's excluded from that. So when you go through like a period like that, is it more so, is there anyone that sticks out that's been kind of supportive of you and really has been there, supported you when you needed them to?
Yeah, so like my family just in general are huge. My sister, before I even drop any song, she wants to hear it and wants a sneak peek. And then when I drop it, all I hear in the house is the song I drop, and she's always singing it, always putting it on without me even like being aware of it. I come home like, whoa, is that me?
Is that
like
me, Dizzy Dee?
Is that me that she's playing? Like that always is like the fire that keeps me motivated. Cause like she really is my biggest fan right now, and like that's pretty much why I make music, just for her, just to see her reaction in her face when she's like, she comes home and she's like, oh, I really like the new song you dropped, like, and she knows and she memorizes, she picks the lyrics up quick, cause like she plays it on repeat.
Yeah.
Like so much, and then like 2-3 days later, like from start to finish, like something that took me like 2 months to get the flow down and 2 weeks to get the flow down. She got it down in 2 days. Like everything, word for word, flow, delivery, ad-libs, everything. Like she don't miss a beat, right? So like just for that, like that's what motivates me. And if I haven't put out a song in a while, she's like, "What are you doing? Why are you always slacking? Like, what are you doing with all your time? Like." Yeah, she's 11, so like that, it's gonna be a handful, I'm telling you.
Yeah. That's great. So what's next for Dizzy Dee? What can your fans expect from you in the upcoming months?
I'm just trying to release a lot of music in the next couple of months, especially summertime. Because you can do a lot more in summertime, a lot more shows, just like a lot more music videos. So I'm trying to set myself up for like summertime and like a year of music just ahead, so I stay consistent, right, and just have a name out. That's the biggest thing, is just consistency. Because everything else will like fall in place.
Right.
When people just know when you're dropping, and yeah, so they can stay tuned and they can follow you more instead of like you said earlier, like drop a song and then disappear for like 3 months and then drop another song and then disappear for however long, right? You gotta just stay consistent with your work. You just always
Ride the wave.
Yeah, and and understand that this is gonna be a very, very, very long road that you're gonna have to take, and you gotta be very, very patient. But the reward at the end is gonna be worth it. It's like when you're first planting a tree, right?
Right.
Like, and you're hungry too when you plant this tree. You want the fruit from this tree as quickly and as bad as possible. So sometimes you take shortcuts on growing the tree, and in the end, that can ultimately harm the product you get from it.
Right.
Right, and you're actually starving yourself more than feeding yourself. So you just gotta be very patient and just everything will work out and believe in yourself.
I agree with that.
Right.
What advice would you give to someone who is looking to make it as a rapper? Anything you struggled with or still struggling with?
I struggle with. Oh, you just gotta find motivation. Like, I don't really struggle with the motivation part, but I know like a lot of people do. You just gotta be able to motivate yourself to like get up at like 2, 3 in the morning and just like hit the dictionary, hit the books, or like hit whatever it is, listen to beat. Even if you're falling asleep, like writing a verse, you gotta wake up and do it just to train your mind, just so your brain knows that like what you're doing is important, and you gotta like sacrifice a lot, like pretty much everything. Put it first, only thing. Like, if you really want it, like you'll know. If you don't, like
Right.
it's either
You'll know right away too. Is the thing. Like as soon as you start doing it, you're gonna know. Am I gonna be able to do this every day? Maybe you'll be able to do it for 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
But then, how's it gonna be when you don't want to get out of bed and everyone's annoyed, like maybe your girlfriend's calling you, all that kind of thing, right? And you don't want to talk to her, like you got so much stuff going on, but are you still going to stay consistent with
motivated?
Yeah, and ready to do it? Gotta treat it like a job.
Yeah, you really gotta treat it like a job. Like, you gotta go to work and then come home and then go to work for another 8 hours, and it's gonna suck because you're gonna miss out on a lot of things in life, and just like going out and like being with your friends and all this stuff. Like, there's gonna be a lot of weekends and Fridays you're gonna have to sacrifice, but like you gotta play the like long-term game and know that's all paid off. Like, I've been writing and like making music for a while now, since I was like 14 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like almost 8 years later, I'm finally being able to put songs out, and then I'm gonna be more consistent with this. So maybe 2, 3 years down the line, it's gonna be like everything's gonna start piecing together, and that's when I actually start.
Yeah.
Right, and then I'm gonna find myself, find my flow, find my everything, and then that's when it's all determined on you. Then.
For sure. Yo, so that's pretty much all for today. Thanks for being here, Matt. One quick thing though. One quick thing. You got an upcoming song coming out. We want to tell them about it.
Yeah. March 16th, I got a new song dropping. It's called City of Mine. It's actually a remix of one of Jay-Z's old songs, which is still a slapper in my opinion. But I just wanted to put my take on it because I really actually enjoy the song just in general. Like, I listened to that song on repeat, so I was like, might as well just do your version of it and do a take on it. And it came really easy because I already heard the beat like 1,000 times. So I wrote that like super quick and then just recorded it. And then my guy, my audio engineer, sent it back to me. I'm like, oh. And then that's just been like on repeat constantly. Like, that's all I listen to. All I listen to is just me. I feel like I'm the best in the game right now.
Hey, like the confidence. Alright, thanks for tuning in.
Dizzy motherfucking Dee ho.